Love yours.
Hello everyone, it's Alexis again and I'm back with a second video. I'm really excited to talk about this subject because I feel like it's something that's not really necessarily talked about when it comes to traveling or study abroad or things like that. So I'm kind of excited to give you guys my story, like my perspective of what I experienced when I went abroad. To start off, depression is a mental illness. It's something that I've struggled with for a few years. Something that I don't really get a chance to talk about a lot. It's something that needs to be talked about. And just a little background, I love to travel. I love to study abroad. I love learning new languages, everything of that sort. So this last summer I went to Peru for 2 weeks and I went to France for 4 weeks. Peru was amazing. I had the time of my life. I was just on like this natural high. I felt like, it felt really great to just be somewhere different, just to get out of the country. So I went to Peru for 2 weeks, and right when I came back, then a couple days later I was on the plane to France to study abroad in Montpellier. I was really excited. I was like ready to go. And just a little bit of background, this trip was supposed to happen 2 years prior, but it got canceled because not enough people signed up. And I go to a really small liberal arts college, so we needed at least 7 people to come. So the first year it got canceled. I had already made the GoFundMe, I'd already told people about it, and it got canceled, so I felt really bad about that. But then the next year they opened it up again, and I was accepted again, and we had enough people to go, so the trip finally happened. It was a good first couple of days, it was just like, it was chill. I was happy to be there. I had been looking forward to this trip for 2 years. Like when I tell you 2 years, I mean 2 years. I'd always wanted to go to France again. I wanted to study abroad. I was really excited. And so yeah, the first few days were good. We went on excursions. We, met a few people we met a few students towards the end, and it was all around a good trip educational. And I learned so much on this trip. The teachers were amazing. The program itself was good, but the only thing that was hindering me or that made my trip bad was that my depression. I didn't expect to be depressed while traveling abroad. Like I said, I was putting on Facebook, Instagram, like, oh, I'm so excited, I'm finally here, like, this is great, My GoFundMe raised over $700. My grandmother, she held a raffle at her house. She raised $2,000 for me, just for me to go on this trip. I had so many people supporting me, and I wasn't expecting to have a depressive episode. Like, I wasn't expecting to just not want to get out of bed or to just feel like, really sad, and I couldn't really figure out why. I kind of felt guilty because I don't want to say that I felt pressured to post pictures. When you have so many people supporting you on this trip, it's like you want to show them that you're having a good time, that their donations didn't go to waste. So I felt, I don't know if pressured is the right word, but I felt like I needed to post happy pictures and pictures showing that I'm having fun, having the time of my life, but in reality I really wasn't. And I remember one weekend I just did not get out of bed for like 2 days. My host family, they would knock on my door like, okay, dinner is ready, lunch is ready, if you want to come and eat with us. And I just didn't feel like getting up, didn't feel like getting out of bed. I just kind of sat and watched Netflix all day, and I just kind of was there. I just felt very numb. I just felt like, unhappy, and I didn't know why. Honestly, if I could go back, I would probably tell my host parents about it, because I feel like maybe that they would have understood, because there was already a language barrier between us. So me going through my episode, or me feeling upset and not talking to them, I think it kind of came off in the wrong way, because in the beginning I was loud, I was happy, I was like always trying to talk with them, trying to improve my French, but then towards the end I kind of just like distance myself, and when I get upset like this I tend to isolate myself. So I think that maybe they took it as, me being rude when it wasn't that. I don't know how they took it because I never talked to them about it, but if I could go back, I definitely would have told them, I'm not really feeling too well, I'm feeling a little homesick, I'm feeling, a little bit sad, my depression is hitting me, and maybe they would have understood a little bit more. But yeah, it was a lot. And then even with the other students from my school, I would still go out. I would try to go out to like the clubs and the bars and try to have fun and try to force myself out. But even as I was like standing in the clubs or standing at the bars, I would just be upset, and I would just felt like crying, to be honest. Like even when I was out, I just felt like crying, and I didn't know why. And it's so frustrating because, I felt like I should be happy. Why shouldn't I? I'm in another country. I was blessed enough to have an opportunity to study abroad, and it upset me that I was upset, if that makes sense. After having so many people supporting me and then just feeling how I did, it really let me, you know, it really made me feel bad. And so I came back, you know, school started again and everyone's just like, oh my gosh, Alexis, like, you know, I can't believe you went, like it's just great, it's goals, like you're doing so good, yeah, blah blah blah. And, you know, I wanted to tell them like, yeah, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't that fun for me. Like I didn't have a good time. At first I was like just agreeing with them. I was in denial. I was trying to like fake it until I make it type thing. Like, yeah, it was so much fun. You should apply for the program. It was just the best time of my life. Oh my God, you know? And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to lie anymore. I feel like I shouldn't have to hide this part of myself to people. I feel like I should be honest with myself and with others. So I started telling people, you know, I didn't really have that good of a time. You know, educationally, it was great, but I didn't have a good time in France, even though, and they're like, what, you've been looking forward to this trip for years? Like, what do you mean you didn't have a good time? And I started telling people that, like, you know, towards the end, I kind of got homesick, you know, my depression started to kick in, so I really didn't enjoy myself that much, but educationally it was great, and I'm very thankful for your donation, or I'm very thankful for you for supporting me. I started saying things like that, and I started to feel better. Like now, even now I feel better, and it's just kind of like, okay, like once I'm honest with myself and I feel like I don't have to lie about it, or I don't have to, you know, to act like depression is like a taboo topic, especially when it comes to studying abroad. And, you know, I felt a little bit better, like it happened and it's okay. And it may happen again, sure, because I'm planning on taking other trips this summer. It may happen again, but if it does, it's okay. What's most important is to listen to your body, listen to how you feel, and listen to what you need. And that's something that I've learned definitely from this trip. Is, you know, we're human, we go through the emotions, and sometimes you just have to let yourself be sad. And I know that everybody handles things differently. Everybody handles depression differently, or, you know, their mental illness in their own way. This is just my experience. I'm just trying to really have like a candid conversation about it, because depression is something that needs to be talked about, especially with students. When we go abroad, or if we, you know, travel, depression doesn't stop. It's not something that you can turn on and off. It's not something that you really can control. So I think it's important that we have these conversations, that we, you know, open up about it and share our experiences, so that we know that we're not alone. We're not the only ones who go through things like this. If you have an experience where you were traveling and your depression hit you, I really want to know about it. I want to hear about it, because if we open up to one another, it makes it a little bit easier to cope, and it makes us feel like we're not, you know, ungrateful, or we're not, you know, selfish or anything like that. I know that there are tons of travel bloggers and people who, you know, study abroad who experience depression while they're on their trip. I really hope that this video, you know, starts the conversation, and that it's able to help somebody who has, you know, a mental illness and who's thinking about studying abroad or thinking about going abroad, and they're kind of nervous about what's going to happen or how they're going to react. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys for watching. This is my second video. I'm really excited to continue making videos once again, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
Love yours. Love yours. No such thing. No such